A lot of times I'm driving, there's nothing to do, and I shuffle through the radio before I unglue. There's a lot of red on ways, it's traffic, I'm screwed, and I'm wired a bit different than a regular dude. It's not a bad thing, I embrace it, it's true. The radio don't stimulate brain chemistry fluid. The Buddha found nirvana and the Four Noble Truths. Through a meditative process, right action he proved. For me, I require the use of a tool, a detector, pin, pointer, shovel, and beach scoop. I'm meant to work the dirt with my history crew, but everywhere I look, my interest taboo. Most people choose Bieber over Tippecanoe. What does a detectorist listen to when the radio is full of bad music and news? I need an alternative for me to peruse. Beyond Sight and Sound gets fantastic reviews. A metal detecting show where my thought bubble brews. Thank you, Josh Kimmel, for inviting me to a detecting dork out with guests like yours truly.
Are you looking for a high-quality beach and sand scoop? Are you trying to take your hunting to the extreme? How about an American-based company that stands behind their product and everything they sell? Then check out our friends over at XTREME Scoops. John has been making scoops for some time now and makes a quality beach and sand scoop to take your hunting to the next level. XTREME Scoops recently released their new sand shredder that works great in the water and on the beach. And if you're a new Equinox user, you may want to check out his Surfmaster X3 that can trap those small targets you new Equinox users are finding out there. XTREME Scoop's company approach is let's do it right. So do it right, buy it once, and go to the extreme. XTREMEScoops.com. That's XTREME scoops.com.
Hey boys and girls, we are going to talk about S&W shooters and prospectors. What is S&W shooters and prospectors?
We at S&W Shooters and Prospectors help people find treasure.
Did you say treasure?
Yes, treasure. Just listen to this amazing review from our happy customer, Jackie Sparrow.
Chocolate ship shape and a pleasure to deal with. I was able to buy everything that I needed at prices that were shillings less than others. I found my 9 pieces of meat in no time. Savvy?
I know you're asking yourself, why should I shop at S&W Shooter and Prospectors?
Chuck Smalley has over 45 years of metal detecting experience. He works with each customer one-on-one to customize their setup to match their skill level.
So if you always dreamt of being a pirate, contact Chuck at S&W Shooters and Prospectors and he'll take a great deal for you.
Eye patch and rum not included.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show.
All right, the fine print's out of the way. It's time to roll with the show. We're back. We're live once again. You are listening to Beyond Sight and Sound, metal detecting and treasure hunting radio for all the really cool digging people out there. Arr. Oh, that's nice. Crazy Spider's in the chat saying, what's the number again? Nice. So welcome aboard to everyone. We've got Chuck in the house, the Bills, Dylan's probably somewhere in there, Paul, the rest of the usual suspects, Mark, Ed, Shelly and Dawn from Can You Dig It, on Thursdays. They're on Detect America. Let's see, we've got, Good grief, the chat's just flying. So there's Barb. Welcome aboard to everyone, definitely. And if I remember, oh, well, who can forget Inmate 420? Mike's in there. Welcome aboard, buddy. And speaking of Mike, always got some great contests going on the Central Illinois Metal Detecting Central Illinois Facebook group. I'm working on it, folks. I'm working on it. I got to fire the teleprompter. No, I'm joking. We don't have a teleprompter. I just need to fire me some nights. Anyway, in the description, obviously, all the usual suspects of the links, such as our friends over at Shooters and Prospectors, DetectEase.com, the TheRingFinders, XTREME Scoops, the many wonderful Facebook groups and YouTube channels that are normally in there, the Detect America electrolysis videos, Nokta Makro website, Mini Horde commercial, all the usual suspects. And then down there at the bottom, I've already dropped it in the chat, is a link to the GPX6000 video. Now, before we get into things, somebody remind me, in case I forget, there's a couple of announcements to make at the end of the show about the upcoming board. And congratulations, Frank. I see him in the house there. Frank did receive his silver dollar, finally, yesterday. It was supposed to arrive Tuesday. I'm not sure what happened. It was taking the country tour or something like that. You guys and gals know how it goes. Frank definitely knows how it goes with packages taking the country tour, because it seems like sometimes it takes forever for me to get a package to him or for him to get one to me. And actually, I think we've still got one taking the country tour somewhere that's got, it may have some coins in it for the next board. Shh, I didn't tell you that. I don't know if he's going to ship them here or if he's going to ship them out when the next board comes up. But it is coming close. And we do have prices in there from Shelly and Dawn from Can You Dig It as well. So, tonight, obviously, the guys and gals get a 2-night run because we've got the Minelab DETEXPERTS, John White and Frank Juarez, Tony Vasoli on the show tonight. No, we've got Crazy Spider and Frank on the show with us tonight. Minelab DETEXPERTS, and we're going to be talking a little bit of some of the thoughts and impressions on the GPX6000, as well as some of the other shenanigans, I guess would be a good word for it, from Florida, and whatever other stories come up. So hopefully everyone's hearing us just fine. We had just minutes before the show, I was dealing with, I'm not quite sure what I was dealing with, but it went away. That's the important part. Who knows? I digress. Let's get them in here. How's it going, guys?
Doing good, thank you.
Hey, there's Tony.
Doing very well.
There's John. Oh.
You finally let me in. You're locking me out for like the last 5 minutes.
Well, you know, I like to...
Frank had to give me the right phone number, and I made it in.
Right?
Thank you, Frank. I appreciate it.
Well,
Gotcha.
I'm glad he's got your back covered. Normally, Bill's got everybody covered in the chat, but it's a good thing Frank was along then. You know, that's what we would expect from a fellow team member, a fellow DETEXPERT. to have your back. Definitely. So I've got to say, we've all kind of waited for this for a while. And let's see, Monday, Tuesday? I'm not sure. I can't remember. When did the video drop?
Wednesday morning. Hey, Frank, are you playing the radio show in the background?
Yeah, a little bit, not much.
I heard that. Turn the
Turn it
volume
down.
down on it.
Hear it. Yeah.
How's that? I turned it off.
There you go. Otherwise, it's going to confuse you.
Gotcha. Okay. Been a while.
Right. Okay, so my days and nights are all mixed up, but believe me, I've had kind of the week from hell. So, and I'm not the only one. I mean, Tam's had the week from hell, and it's just not been good. Runs to the doctor and runs to the emergency room, and we just hope we're on the winning side of things. Anyway, so the video dropped Wednesday. And
Yes, sir.
I've got to say, once again, in the fashion that we've all been used to, very, very well done video. But let's just kind of jump right into the meat and potatoes here. I gotta know, watching the video, I know what my first impressions are, and I'll go ahead and throw them out real quick. I think Minelab has definitely got a hit on their hands here because it's lightweight, it's compact, it's much lighter than the other predecessors of the GPX series, and it seems so user-friendly and able to pick up on such fine gold. In the video, we see Frank using the GPX6000, and it is picking up 0.1 gram of gold. And for some people in the chat listening, they're going, okay, that sounds special, I guess. 0.1 gram is smaller than a BB. And if anybody, I'm sure Chuck can put it into a more exacting term or something to compare it to, a more exacting comparison, but that's what's coming out at the top right now, right off the top of my head. So I think they've got a really good hit on their hands. Yes, it's a GPX series detector. Yes, it's going to have a salty price tag. Yes, I think if I was in the market for a GPX unit, I could justify that cost because it is lightweight, rechargeable, and it finally they have a water-resistant housing, and it picks up on such small gold and so user-friendly. What were yours and Frank's first impressions of the machine?
Well, for me, I felt like, when they came out with Equinox and the smart technologies that were kind of built into the Equinox to make it user-friendly, I think they translated a lot of that into the GPX 6000. Where it auto adjusts some of those, settings and whatnot for you, but you still have the ability to manually set it too. And I'm not experienced whatsoever on a gold machine, but just seeing it and seeing what I'm used to on the coin and relic side, I saw a lot of that translate over. And yes, from what I've heard on the old gold machines compared to this one, yes, lightweight, big time compared to the old ones. And, I think you're absolutely right that it's, even though there might be some hesitancy behind it, I think it is going to be an absolute hit. I think it's just going to take that initial batch of people that get them in their hands that are well respected in the gold community that can go out, field test them for a month or so and start giving that feedback to the rest of everybody else. I think that's when you're going to really see it take off.
And Frank?
When we were down at Florida Hunt 7 when I got to pick the machine up, and man, what a difference. I mean, it was super light, and getting to have Deb show me, the little features, which me, it's just like out of the box and go. And it's, it's no dials, hit buttons, maybe a button or two to add two more segments in the bar around the side to the right. Otherwise, light machine and oh God, it's light and very easy to use. I think, like I say, when people get that in their hands and stuff, I think, yes, for sure. I think it's going to be a very, very good machine. They got to start saving some pennies now.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So,
and they are you on speakerphone by chance, Frank?
Yes, I am.
Okay, that must be what it is, because I keep hearing a little bit of feedback there.
Huh. Well, I turned the volume off the computer and stuff. I got the speaker. You want me to put it on just regular phone?
If you can, let's try that and see how that goes.
Okay.
Don't hang up.
I'll just turn the volume up on my how's that?
Oh, there we go. I think that's working.
Better?
I think so. Sound better to you, John?
I need to get him talking. I don't know. He sounds about the same to me.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not used to this on stuff, but anyway. But yeah, like I say, yeah, it's going to be a very good machine. It's unbelievable, and I think it's even lighter than a 3030 myself. So,
well,
and
that's another thing that I can say is, compared to its predecessors, some people, let's face it, DIV is a PI game, and for some people, after they've been carrying a GPX around for 6 or 8 hours, it kind of feels like you're carrying half a Yugo or something. So I really think this is going to be a huge advantage in the field. And not only can I see some great finds coming forward from people in the gold community, but I can see relic hunters putting this machine to use as well. And we've seen in the past with other releases, GPX predecessors, the GPZ, the Equinox, once it gets out there into the end user hands and into the commercial market, people start making phenomenal finds with these machines and posting them up, and next thing you know, that's where all the buzz starts. And everybody's like, I've got to get one of those. I can see this being a machine that happens with.
Yes, for sure.
And I know John said he's not necessarily as familiar with the gold side of things as, say, coin and treasure, coin and relic, however you want to word it. But you are pretty familiar with the gold side of things, Frank. Just how small is...
It's small. It's... I would say like a big toothpick, and you break it in half.
Okay. So about the diameter of a toothpick.
Yeah. Yep.
That is small.
Small, yes.
That's
Pick that up. It's unbelievable.
That's the sort of stuff. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, when you're listening to the video and he swings over it, it was nice and loud and clear. I don't know, gold, when it starts getting some depth of soil over it, I'm not sure, as it gets deeper and deeper, what that sound turns into.
Right.
But just the fact that it picked it up that well for how small it is was very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have to agree. Because you could, on the video, for those who haven't seen it, It does. The audio response comes through loud and clear on this super, super small piece of gold. How many, if I remember right from the video, there were actually 3 gold targets out there, correct?
Yes. Yes, there was.
And
a big piece, a middle-sized piece, and then a real small piece.
Okay, and obviously...
we were testing here.
Obviously, if the small one is ringing up that loud and clear, the big piece, you had to have felt like there was no mistake in what was under the coil at that point.
Yes, for sure. Yep.
Wow.
I've used, like I said, I've been up to Alaska with Chuck 2 times already, and I've used the 2300, and I think the 7000, I think, I'm not for sure it was Gold Monster, but I've used 2 of his machines up there, and then I had my 3030 up there. No, I used my 705 up there the first time.
705's a good machine up there.
And that worked good up there in Alaska, yes, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to necessarily break the bank to get out there and do electronic prospecting. I mean, you don't have to drop thousands and thousands of dollars on a machine. The 705 did very respectably in Alaska.
Yep, good machine for sure.
And were you able to pick this machine up as well, John?
No, I had the camera in my hand the whole time.
Oh, so you didn't even get to pick it up at any point?
No, I was too excited about even being in that situation. I didn't. I can tell you that it reminded me very much of my CTX. As far as size goes, I think it does weigh. Trying to think what a CTX weighs. It seems like it would weigh a little bit more, but it was very similar in my opinion, like size-wise.
Well, and in my opinion, with the CTX, you really didn't necessarily notice the weight so much because it was better balanced than, say, the E-Track and the Safari, and because the E-Track, the ergonomics just weren't there. It was front heavy, especially if you had a larger coil on it. The CTX was definitely a little better balanced, and it seems like that's the same way with the 6000 now.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you watch Frank in the video, even at the end when he kind of takes his hand out of the cuff and he's kind of holding it up in the air, you can almost see the balance in his hand. It looks really light in his hand as he's handling it and then handing it over to Deb.
Exactly, and he had mentioned a number of times in the video how light it was.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just like the CTX where they were aiming to have better balance because it has a little bit of weight to it compared to the like an Equinox, for example.
Right. Although I'm sure it's a little heavier than the Equinox.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Not bad, but yes.
Now, let's see. You use the Equinox, Frank, which very, very nice half dime that you found recently with that. I'm going to have to guess that this thing's probably at least twice the weight of the Equinox, which is still very light compared to, previous GPX series.
It's a little heavier. I mean, not bad. But what I like about the 6000 is the battery. It's a lithium battery, and it's just like the batteries like on your drills and stuff that you got where you hit the both sides and it slides out instead of clamping it down like the 3030. It slides in and it's all sealed up and everything. It's pretty cool.
Right. So, and I would imagine definitely a lot easier to deal with than the previous GPX units.
Yeah, I never messed with the batteries with the other ones. I think they were off to the side. I think you had I had that the harness that one of them did. I had to put a battery in there one at one time, but I don't remember which one it was. That's been a while ago.
Yeah, some of them have, like, especially, I believe it was the extended life battery that you would wind up, basically you could slip that in a backpack and carry with you, because it turned that machine into an arm breaker, quite frankly.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
But now
after a while, yeah.
Yeah, now they're following suit like we've seen with other releases, not only from Minelab, but other manufacturers as well, where they're making them faster, more lightweight, lithium-ion batteries. It's just crazy what they're doing with the technology. And that was one of the big points that I liked about seeing the video that John had put out, is now you don't have all the things to mess with on the back of the control box, like with the predecessors of the GPX series. Now it's all right there at your fingertips, very easy to understand in a quality display.
Yes.
I tell you what, I did handle, and I really want a pair of the headphones that go with those. They're like a wireless beefed up version of the CTX ones. I really like those.
You know, that's a good point too. This does have wireless headphone capability, which, if I remember right, that's the first time we've seen that on that line. Well, yeah, I mean the GPZ, it had wireless headphones, but that was a GPZ, not a GPX. Either way, it sounds like it's definitely a little nicer quality than the headphones that we've been seeing with the CTX then.
Yeah, it was a beefier version, I would say.
Yep.
Let me see here. Frank was in the chat asking about depth between the 5,000 and 6,000. We weren't doing field testing, so neither Frank, myself, or Chuck can really answer that. But what my impression
these targets were laying on the ground.
Yep. My impression, though, from talking to Debbie, is that it performs equal or better than the 5,000. And with all the advanced settings to it and how fast it is, it's definitely an upgrade. But it seemed like she was saying that if you're going for deep nuggets, like the deep big nuggets, that the 7,000 is still the way to go as far as that part of it goes. That was my impression. But don't quote me. That's just my impression.
Well, and it would be very safe to assume, I mean, Minelab is not going to come out with a new machine in the GPX lineup and have it perform in an inferior way compared to its predecessor.
Yeah.
So it would be very easy to say that the depth is going to be at least just as good, if not better.
Yeah, Debbie has always told me that the engineers that they have working for Minelab, that is one thing that they are, strict about, is making sure that if they're going to release something, that we need to make sure that it's spot on and performs better.
Get all the hiccups, all of that worked out.
Your CPX 5050 or whatever you're calling it there in the chat. That's, maybe that's why we haven't heard anything.
Right.
I don't know.
Could be a while yet. How's it going, Chuck? You know gold.
Yeah, I like finding it.
Well, don't we
and gold
all?
Knows Chuck.
Yeah.
How you guys doing tonight?
Pretty sure they're on a first name basis.
What's up, John? Frankie, Tony,
How's it going?
Fasoli. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of questions.
You guys are both doing good out there.
A lot of questions about this machine because there's not enough time on it in the hands of a lot of people yet to answer a lot of questions.
Exactly. I mean, we don't even have a concrete release date yet on the machine. So this is like the video that John put up. This is probably one of, I won't say the first, but one of the first videos out there to give us any sort of insight.
No, that was the first allowed by Minelab to go out.
Nice. Good job, John.
Thank you. And there's no favors behind it. I just simply asked if it was something I could do, and I got the nod by everybody that was there.
Well, I just try not to.
So that was pretty cool. So
I usually try not to say the first, because about the time I do, somebody sets me straight. But,
and then I put it across all the gold hunting forums and stuff that I'm involved with, and I told John, be ready to have a real thick skin, because if you think coin hunters are tough, no, the gold prospecting group is tougher yet. And he got a few growly remarks back.
Right. But you're going to get that. You have to take that with a grain of salt, because I'm sure that you were getting a tremendous amount of hits on that video.
Yeah, it hands down, it has blown all the rest of my videos out of the water. But when you're the first at something, I mean, it's expected to be that way. I think it's been out now 4.5 days, and I'm over 3,300 views on it.
Nice.
And I've gained, I believe, 43 subscribers since 4.5 days ago.
Hey, that's not bad channel growth.
No,
and what's cool is I can see the breakdown of the analytics of your subscribers and the sources they're coming from. There's websites for gold mining out there, or gold prospecting.
Yes.
It tells me the exact website they're coming from, and there's some prospecting sites that have been sharing my videos. And I think the Australian views has been more than the U.S. views.
That's what I was just going to ask. Is if you were getting a number, if you were getting a number of views out of Australia, because obviously they're going to be keenly interested in this. The Australian gold fields produce some of the best gold in the world.
Yep. It was like 32% from Australia and 30% from the U.S. or something like that.
Do you have any hits out of Africa?
Oh, good
I'm
point.
sure I did. It didn't give me that breakdown, but I've gotten some subscribers who I'm pretty sure are from Africa. I know that on YouTube there are some African videos that came out earlier, like a month or so ago. But no, they weren't. I don't believe they were approved, quote unquote, by Minelab, because they were waiting
approved, and they aren't really
they
weren't up to knowledge at that time on them.
Right. They were waiting for a specific date for it to be an even playing field for everybody across the world to release any info on it.
Yeah. So
nice.
I got questions from Africa when they saw that I was sharing it, and I basically, other than a couple of them that I know, the people I know that have dealt with me, and others here in the U.S., I answered their questions as best that I could.
Right. Well, and the way it sounds, even though we don't have a concrete release date, we're hoping that it is available in time for Chuck to take one to Alaska.
I'm
how come
Frank
already has one?
I couldn't hear you. Frank?
I said, how come Frank
Frank
already has one?
Frank took off with it and got cased.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm listening.
Yeah. But answering a couple questions, Nelson asked, why would they not get a replacement out for the 3030 ahead of a gold machine? Gold machines outsell the coin market 3 to 4 times more.
Right.
Worldwide.
The gold market is a very lucrative market on both sides of the fence, not only for the manufacturers, but for the end users as well. I mean, especially if they're the type of person like Frank, where they find gold on the beach, they're selling it before they even make it back to the house. It's a lucrative market.
A true gold rush going on, say in the Sudan or over off the Sahara, as there was a couple years ago. It wasn't unusual to see the African market selling.
They would
several
spike
hundred 7,000s a day.
Yeah, they would spike to where, a few weeks in, it was hard to find a gold unit anywhere on a shelf.
That's right. Of any brand. It didn't matter. Gold bugs, Fishers, very popular. Noktas, gold cruisers, very popular. Minelabs, hands down, the most popular when they could find them and get them. And amazing to see and be a part of. And when it was over at the base of the Sahara, I'm trying to remember the town's name, just a couple years ago, they were flying people to the United States because the demand was so high they could not find things there, and were buying them here over the counter and going back with them.
Right, absolutely. And I believe that's even that particular incident you're talking about. I think they were even flying people over to provide training on said units.
Yes, they were. I was even offered to go train, and the wife put a kibosh to it because in that particular area I would have stood out like a sore thumb. And literally in that spot, they had one guy detecting, one guy digging, and a guy standing with an AK-47 for a while to protect you.
Yeah, not a good situation to be in. It could have been lucrative, but I can think of other places to hunt that are a little more forgiving.
I literally had pictures sent from customers over there that recovered gold nuggets, and I am not joking one bit. As big as a bowling ball.
Right.
And they were selling $600,000-$700,000 a piece.
Right. And that's why we say, sure, it's got a salty price tag, but it can be worth it. There are people out there that will justify it, like they did the GPX6000, just like they have the 5000. It takes that one good find to pay it off.
They made a lot of them over there. Amazing what they found over there. Just totally amaze you. For those people that could get their hands on them over there, and the whole families would chip in together to do this, to get one, and literally find a total life-changing piece of gold for that entire group of families.
Right. Yeah. It only takes that one good find, and there were plenty of them being made. And we've seen in the past where, say...
You can Google some of this stuff, back in it, and there are videos that they posted up of chunks of gold that would just simply
blow your mind. Right.
Yes.
And
so
we've
the gold market is one of the top detecting, not the top detecting market out there.
And we've seen in the past, especially, say, Australia, a new gold machine comes out, whether it's from Minelab or whoever, and somebody's out there doing their time, putting in the hard work, and they come up with just that eye-popping find. And it's like, how does this happen? How do you miss something that size?
Yeah, I know. And the thing about it is, the other popular machines on the market are the crossovers. They both do coin, relic, and a gold mode.
Exactly.
Including the Equinox. It's very popular in the gold field.
Well, and I can understand why, because that thing picks up on fine gold like nobody's business for a machine in that price range. And Frank asks in the chat if anybody happens to know yet what the battery voltage is.
No, I do not have those specifics yet, Frank.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, because I'm sure
I know
Frank's...
it's a lithium-ion battery.
Right. And I'm sure Frank's going to
That's all I
be
know.
prying around about that tomorrow, too. I don't know if... who knows? Maybe tomorrow before the show, Ronnie may be able to get an answer on that for Detect America tomorrow night.
He might be able to. I don't know. We'll figure that out. I'll see if I can find that tomorrow.
Right. And
a lot of the technical information, I'll be flat forward with you, has not been totally released yet. They wouldn't talk or tell you about it yet.
Right.
Some of this stuff, I mean, they literally are cloak and dagger with the development of these machines.
Right. Yeah, very much so. Frank says if it's 18 volt, I'll be excited. And that would be a powerful machine. Bob Hollycross wants to know if there will be rentals available. If he's asking about DIV, I'm sure somebody will have one at DIV available for rental. Just whether or not you're the lucky one to get it before someone else does, who knows?
I would not expect to see a rental out there for over a year. The orders of these, pre-orders of these, including me, are huge.
You know, that's a good point, too.
That probably won't happen for a while.
But I would say...
I know what kind of testing's been done on them for Relic. I would imagine there's been some thought on it, but I hate to kill you Relic hunters out there. To the gold machine manufacturer, Relics are very secondary in comparison to getting the gold.
Well, that's true. I mean, the gold is the bread and butter, so to speak. But I can definitely see them being incorporated into a rental option at DIV at some point. I know there used to be places down there that would rent PI units. It's just a matter of when.
Yep. Yeah. So,
and I imagine the pre-orders are going to be very large.
And it doesn't have quite the options of the 5,000 and setting your timings and stuff. It automatically sets it. You don't have the complications of figuring out your timings and your different setups for Relic versus gold.
Right.
But it ought to be interesting. I'm very much looking forward to this, working in the gold field, and comparing it to some of my favorite machines in the gold field.
Right. And it looks like they're saying in the chat, apparently the 6000 is 12 volt, and Lauren has accepted a position as moderator of Metal Detecting Central Illinois Facebook group. So congratulations to Lauren.
Oh, good, Lauren. So there's a lot of questions to be answered, and that's going to be time in the field that'll answer a lot of those. And I know Minelab and some of the developing people on it, it'll be a good one.
Yes, absolutely. And like we've seen with previous machines, the releases, you get the buzz going, people are wondering, people have got questions, some of them can't be answered right away. But one thing you can say for sure is that we're all waiting to see how this machine performs in the field. We're going to be very excited to see how it performs in the field, just like we have been with the Equinox, the Apex.
I
got a question for you, Josh.
A question
Go ahead,
for
John.
me?
I got a question for you, Josh. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What did the gold detectorist bake for dessert? A carrot cake.
Oh, God. Okay.
By the way, speaking of
Frank
which,
Frank
Happy
and,
Easter,
John were offering
everyone.
an opportunity to get out in front of a camera with that machine and take a look at it. And I got to run it quite a bit, and I was very impressed because they had a 0.1 gram nugget, and it was banging it.
Right,
I mean,
and that
0.1
is
gram.
very, very impressive. When you can see a machine pick up on a piece of gold that is that fine, that is impressive.
And 0.1 gram, if you can imagine a stick pin and the head of that stick pin being in that size range or a little less, that's not much. And it was hitting it real hard at
loud and clear.
What I would consider a decent depth.
Wow.
Nearly 6 inches, 7. So
that is very impressive.
That had me. But it will not outdistance the 7000 on a 1 ounce nugget. And I've seen the field test results and ran it and found good sized nuggets. Be prepared to dig with that. And I mean, when you're working gold fields, and if you're down in the Southwest and you're working caliche, which is a hardened clay, and you're hacking and working and you're going down a couple feet in that stuff, yeah, it will get it at a great depth, but it won't get a 1 ouncer at 4 feet like the 7000 will.
Right. But then again,
4 feet.
Then again, though, and
that's Australian.
Well, then again, though, that's kind of like when people were comparing the CTX to the Equinox. It's like apples to oranges, two completely different machines. Because, I mean, the Equinox. Don't get me wrong, the Equinox is a great machine, but it's not a CTX. And there again, look at the price point between the GPZ6000 and the GPX6000.
Right. So it's highly anticipated.
Right. Absolutely. I would say so. And now they're getting on John telling him not to call in sick tomorrow night.
Yeah, they want to hear about the new CTX, so we'll talk about it a little bit.
And there you go. I'm sure Frank will be excited to hear about that.
Yeah.
Both, well, Frank and Tony.
Correct.
And for those that
do you guys want to know how all that started? How that happened?
Yeah, go ahead and let the listeners know.
We were down down to the Florida Hunt 7, and Ron DeGhetto's wife was cooking a meal for us after a hard day of hunting. And anyway, I brought a couple bottles of wine in. And I go, that started it. So, so anyway, she says, we need to name you a different name. And all of a sudden she said, Tony. I go, yeah, that'll work. And then she was naming off names, Italian names and stuff. I said, well, back home they got a Fazoli's restaurant. I said, you can call me Tony Fazoli. And that's how that name come about, was down there at Florida Hunt 7.
I think the couple of bottles is probably what John brought back from Florida.
Well, I had an extra couple, I think, that were kind of buried.
My wife has drained a few of them, and she's still got a couple left.
Oh, boy.
Nice.
John, I hope I didn't create a monster.
Thanks, Frank.
Right. John's going, I'm going to have to get together and go out hunting sometime just so we can replenish our supply.
Yeah, I got to be racking some more here pretty quick. Getting that time again.
Right. So. And Frank's in the chat saying he loved it too. I have, your reputation precedes you on your hobby, I guess we'll say.
Yeah, right, yeah. Yep. Probably, 6 years now I've been doing it, so.
Well, the way it sounds, you've got it down to an art.
The last batch that I did, I think I got a hold of a bad yeast pack. It didn't really ferment, like it should have. I had to add more sugar to it, and I was about ready to throw 20 gallons down the drain, and my buddy says, my buddy's dad, he passed here about 3 or 4 years ago, but he was my mentor, and he says, no, just add some more sugar to it. Well, I added more sugar to it, and boom.
Bounced right back.
But it was a little stronger than usual, but yeah, it worked great.
Well, I don't recall in the Go Lives anybody complaining about the strength or any pain, for that matter.
Nope.
I think everyone was having a pretty fine time with it.
We had a good time, for sure, yes, always. And like it's always said, it brings down many good men.
Yeah.
So I've heard that many times.
Yes, it can.
But anyway, yeah. Well, hopefully next year, Josh, you can make it down to, and if I can go again or whatever, for Florida 8, I'll have another big supply again down there again. And hopefully you can come and take and try it.
Oh, I don't know.
Tickets are paid for already with all the wine you're going to be bringing. Everybody already pitched in to get you down there, Frank.
Yeah, I bet.
I don't know
I
if...
can see it raffling off a half a gallon of rhubarb wine.
Right. I see Frank says he was doing just fine. He always walks into walls. That makes two of us, Frank.
Here you go. Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. You guys definitely had a blast in Florida. I'm not sure that Florida would be the same if we all got together down there. They're liable to say, you know what, 1 year of the DA crew being down there was enough, but now we get everybody down here. Oh no, we can't do this again.
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody will have enough foresight to send Ronnie a message and remind him to grab the canopy for the booth this time.
Yep.
We got to get you down there. That way you can see you broadcast live from Florida Hunt 8.
Oh, I don't know. That sounds like a pretty tall order. But you never know. You just never know where I show up.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Frank, I got a picture of Ronnie on the phone, buddy, talking to New Jersey looking for the canopy. I posted that. That's actually been posted up. He's standing there. We've got the frame up, and there's Ronnie on the phone talking with the son-in-law. Where the heck is my canopy?
That's great. That would make an excellent caption this photo.
Yeah.
If I knew the gravity of that situation, I would have totally been recording video the whole time.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been priceless.
And then to listen to Frank and Steve talk about it, how they had to pack everything around this big frame for this canopy-less unit. It took up most of the back end of the truck. It was funny. They were not cutting.
Oh, I was rolling with laughter. That was hilarious.
Well, and I've seen.
Yeah,
I
Frank,
mean,
you're right. Send it to me.
Oh, here we go. There is. There's going to be a caption this photo post.
That's good.
All joking aside, though, I'm sure if Frank had realized that it was not there, he would have made sure to pack it. He seems to do very well at packing. It's just...
Oh, yeah, they had that truck packed nicely around this frame.
Yeah.
It's big, and I don't know the full square footage of the unit, but it's a big setup. And the canopy just didn't make the trip. It wanted to stay back in Jersey.
Yeah, just what is the full square footage of a topless booth?
it was set up at one point without the canopy.
Right, like I said, it's great skylighting.
It was a sunroom.
Yeah, exactly. Who would have thunk it there in Florida? But that had to have been absolutely hilarious. To be right there as everything sets in and Ronnie realizes it's not there.
I wish they'd been shooting video because the look on Ronnie's face was priceless. And Frank and Steve were just giving him all kinds of grief.
Right, don't look at us. It wasn't us.
It was a mixture of shock and confusion, and he didn't know what to do for the... It's like it was also fear because he knew the heck he was about to get from the two guys, you know?
Yeah, shock, confusion, and disbelief. Frank says it was gigantic. It was like a small horse pen.
And Frank's $89 tent had a top, and Frank's chant kind of saved the day, I think.
Yeah.
Frank and Steve were like,
it was interesting. And we had, the guys had an opportunity to work with Minelab as DETEXPERTS on the gold machine because Frank's been up gold hunting a couple times with me, and he's got a good taste for it, and we're going to get back up there.
Right. Yeah, talking with Frank before the show, it sounds like he might be interested in getting back there and doing some fishing, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Usually when we're up there, the coho are running, and this year being an odd year, we'll have sockeye salmon running too every other year for them, and ought to be worth it. I mean, that's world class fishing. That site where we go work this gold is just gorgeous and world class fishing. There's a resort. He's about 85 miles from where we're at inland. And they come in from all over the world just to do one thing, and that's fish grayling and salmon and sea run dolly varden and things like that. It's phenomenal. You
shouldn't have talked about the salmon, Chuck, because now Frank's not going to get out there detecting.
Oh, he has to. He's
no, I do. I do a couple
he
days.
Gets out there. Yes,
right.
He does. But somebody said they're running, and all of a sudden Frank cannot be found.
He's headed to town, 8 miles down the mountain.
There you go. And D.A. Frank, you said salmon jerky. We smoke it up there and bring it home.
Yep.
That sounds pretty tasty.
Boy, I mean, it's killer. It's good.
That sounds very tasty. I've not tried it
Best
like
ever.
that. I've not tried it like that, but that does sound good.
Oh, man.
It is.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Good
I'll
stuff.
bet.
The last
It's
time we
got
were
to
up
be.
there, we ate fish just about every night of the week. We had salmon baked, we had salmon fried, we had salmon cooked on cedar platter. We had, and then we got back down to Anchorage, and I looked at Frank and I said, "Okay, we're headed uptown for a steak." And I meant beefsteak.
Right, we've had enough fish.
You sound like Bubba listing off all the shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
Frank, you got smoked salmon, salmon jerky, spicy salmon rolls. I've had one thing up there that most people don't realize. They take smoked salmon, cut it small, make the white gravy, and you have salmon biscuits and gravy for breakfast, and it's killer. It's good.
Yes, it is.
That would be different.
Betty can cook very, very good.
Yes. We don't go away up there hungry. Mm-mm.
No.
Sounds like if you do, it's your own fault.
That's right.
On.
So it's a good trip, and it's neat to be up there anyway, and just the sheer beauty of the place is amazing.
Right.
But
See, you keep talking about all that, and one of these years you're liable to have D.A. Frank along on the trip.
Well, I tried talking him into this one. We had another opening, but I think it's all closed up because I think Betty filled it. But I tried talking him into it. He could do it. It isn't that tough on you. I mean, it's good accommodations and good food. And the only thing I'd be worried about is him on an ATV. I know maybe he'd be cracking that throttle a little too wide up there on those trails.
Right. Don't want him ripping around there too fast.
No.
And we'll get John up there eventually. John White will get up there. We'll get out and do some good hunting up there. It's a lot of fun. And then I'm leaving. When I leave there, I go to Fairbanks, and I'll be up there another 8 days, and I'm going out on private claims that I'm in with and using, I hope, a 6,000 on those.
Well, that will be very interesting to hear about if you do get that opportunity. And I'm sure you'll be getting plenty of photos anyway, so the photos alone will be worth seeing. Great scenery.
Oh, it's just unbelievable. But that particular area and around Fairbanks, you don't have many grizzly bears, but they got a huge, big black bear population, and they're worse than the damn grizzlies. So you keep your eyes open all the time.
Right. Yeah, that's true, too. Definitely don't want to stray too far from Chuck while you're up there, Frank.
No,
Frank heard about it one time.
Yeah, I got yelled at. I got yelled at already once.
You don't wander off by yourself.
No.
Not a good place to do that. Like we've mentioned before, some of them places up there, you are no longer on the top of the food chain.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep, sure.
You just stay.
Another
you
good
just
thing
stay in
about
touch with each other, line of sight, and keep an eye on what's going on around you.
Yep,
but it's a good time up there.
Another good thing about up there is when you're climbing up these mountains and stuff, blueberries are everywhere. And you can, as you're going up the hill, you can take your other hand and reach down and grab a handful of berries as you're driving up a mountain. It's wonderful.
Yeah. And then the blueberry pancakes, blueberry biscuits, blueberry bread, blueberries, blueberry jam. Yeah, it's on. It's a good week. And it goes down the line, too.
Right,
I haven't had blueberry gravy and biscuits yet, but I've had blueberry biscuits and blueberry jam on them. And Betty makes those up, and oh my God, are they good. We just got to pick them for her. She says, you bring me the blueberries, I do. I'll take time to pick blueberries.
You bet, for sure.
Right. And Frank's in the chat saying, blueberry wine.
There you go.
Yeah.
The other Frank, make us some blueberry wine. We got to ship it home.
That wouldn't be bad. Last time I was out in Massachusetts, got to try some blueberry ale, and that that was actually pretty tasty. So I'm sure the wine would be too.
But then in another trip, and John's aiming for this one. He wants to get over to England and do some serious detecting over there. That's his goal right now.
Oh, I'll bet he would just love that. So
that's
is there
his goal? You still there, John?
He's there.
Yes, sir.
If you would get over to England, what is your bucket list find?
Well, bucket list, of course, would be a hammered gold coin, but a hammered anything would be very nice.
Oh, okay. So he's not going to go way out there and say, well, I want to find a torque or something. He's going after that gold coin.
I've been there when it happened.
I know it's possible, but I like to keep it realistic. The chances of that are so slim.
I don't know. You never know. But the chances of a gold coin are definitely fairly common over there, so I can see that happening.
They are.
Yeah, Roman gold or Roman silver would be pretty cool.
Nice. Well, we'll have to keep a close eye on you and hope that you get over there sometime and get in a position where you're fortunate enough to unearth one of them.
I hope so at some point for sure. And a Celtic horde, that would be pretty crazy.
Oh, now you're talking. That would be phenomenal. And I guess in terms of bucket lists, you kind of hit upon a grail item yourself there recently, Frank, with that half dime. What's the next big thing on your list that you'd like to find?
Oh, something lower than that, probably.
800.
Do what?
Yeah, have you found it yet?
Yeah. Huh?
Have you found that yet?
No,
I'm sorry, I couldn't leave that alone.
One of these days, I hope. But hey, believe it or not, I think I'm kind of on a roll. Hell, I found silver here the other day again, so
yes, you
that's
did.
2 now this year. So
right.
Hopefully it's going to be a better year.
I used up all of my luck last year between raffles and hunting, and I think I passed it all on to Frank because Frank is out there killing it this year.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're doing something right out there. I don't know if it's because of Andy's new book or what, but the I&I Club members have found 3 half dimes already this year.
Crazy.
Yep.
Man.
Yep.
I got
actually, I think it's up to 4 now.
How does that happen? How does that happen?
So
I mean, that's crazy.
A good solid freeze and a good heave helps.
You do have a point, up. Yes. Yes, very true. Very true. But
the boy, ground's starting to get hard again now, too.
Yeah, we're dry.
Right. Right.
It's dry here. So
but
all that wind we've been out.
Yeah. That seeded that Frank found, that thing was in just beautiful shape. That's one to be proud of for sure. Congratulations to you.
Thank you, yes. Also.
That is nice.
Anyway, I hope we could answer what questions you got on the 6000. I'll back out of here and let these guys finish up with you, Josh, and they're two good guys to go out and hunt with, and they have skill set and knowledge, and they're getting more all the time, and I have a good time with them. They're good guys to have around, and they answer questions as best they can, and they're the type, if they can't answer it, they'll get back to somebody and get you the information you need.
Well, and they have a good mentor too.
I just watch them. Shake my head a lot, but I watch him.
but he has that whip in the background. He don't show that, but just kidding.
I know it. Oh, and and Frank, these two will be on with you guys tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to that. We'll be watching, and I'll get out of here. And you guys have a good time, and thanks for what you do for us.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck.
Yep.
See ya. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Chuck.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's right. If everybody wants to hear more from John and Tony, and they'll even be able to see Tony tomorrow, DA Live tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, over on Detect America, where Steve, Frank, and Ronnie will be grilling them with questions, shenanigans, and other debauchery. Maybe.
Right. Yeah,
now,
for sure.
and you've got Instagram, Frank. Are we going to see you do a YouTube channel, or are you just going to be satisfied with appearing on John's?
I'm trying to learn this. I mean, to me, it's not my thing, but since I kind of got into this now, I got to do it, but
right.
It'll take me time for sure. I mean, I don't learn this stuff overnight, so
no.
I'm trying. I take pictures, and I try to post them, and sometimes I can't get them. And I don't know, the first time I did it, I had the world globe on there. I go, well, where in the heck did that come from? And I couldn't get it off, so I'm learning.
Well, see, maybe...
Bear with me.
Right. Maybe John can kind of take you under his wing there a little bit and show you some of this technological savvy.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Because he's definitely got the video part down.
Oh,
yeah,
I wish that was better.
Well, that day down there, it was really very, very windy.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I need to conquer, because there's so many windy days here in Iowa too, is trying to figure out how in the world I can do the filming, but also have good audio. And I've tried 3 different mics, and it kills me every time. And I've had a couple ruined videos over it, and it's just like, oh man, I might just have to dub over it with just talking or something, and not have any sound.
Did you have mufflers on any of them?
One, but I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I'm learning still.
Well, hey, that's how we all learn many times. Trial and error.
Yeah. What I want to try out is the mics that are wireless that can hook. I don't know if there is such thing, but one that can hook into an Apple phone, and then the mic just clips, via Bluetooth or whatever to the person. So
right, lavalier.
Just an audio. You don't. Yep. And then hopefully it's in a spot that you won't have to worry about the wind noise at all.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
That's my.
Definitely. All right. Well, anything else that you guys would like to add?
Well, I can't think of nothing at the moment, but it's been a pleasure again, Josh. And like I said, I hope you enjoy your stick. And I know
shall.
John got some too. I know I sent him some stuff. So yeah.
Oh, very cool. I'm sure he's looking them over. Gonna get himself onto some different sites.
They're probably wore out by now.
Right? Could be. Well, and I'll tell you, that's why I moved everything from mine to the computer.
Ah, gotcha.
That way, then, I've still got them here in the drawer backed up, but I've got them on my computer where I can access them at any time. And yes, you are correct, D.A. Frank. They do sell lavs for the iPhone. Well, anything else from you, John? suddenly John is... He must have... the carrot cake must have got to him. Because he is not here. He has fell off. Oh, wait a minute. There. I think we've got him. I don't know. There he is. Had to duck out for a moment, I see.
No, everything went quiet, and then after about a minute, it just dropped the call. That was weird. I couldn't hear you guys or anything. That was weird.
Yeah, we were just saying you must have stepped out for a minute. And I had mentioned that DA Frank had put in the chat that they do sell lavs for iPhones, which yes, he is correct. They do. You can get lavalier mics for pretty much anything out there. iPhones, Androids, GoPros. You can get them with the XLR inputs on them. Pretty much any way you want to get them. Just there again, you definitely, many times you get what you pay for.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't drop out. When you gotta go, you gotta go. You know.
Right. I figured you were rushing for that last piece of carrot cake or something.
No, I'll have to definitely check that out. I wasn't even sure what the name of those mics were. So it's a lav mic?
Lavalier mic. Yes.
Lavaliers. Okay.
Otherwise they shorten them up and call them lavs. LAVS.
Got it.
But there are some good ones out there.
Obviously, I haven't spent any time researching this yet.
Right.
I was just frustrated after editing the last video, and I'm like, oh, this could have been so much better.
Well,
you live, you learn.
It was still pretty good, and that's how it works. We live and learn, and you know and one thing I can tell you is that the lavaliers, you can block the wind a little bit, but it also brings into the scenario a whole other ball of potential issues, because now your mic is body mounted, so any rustling of material and things like that it could pick up if you're not careful. Not that it can't be done, but you have to be careful about the placement of the mic.
Makes sense.
And that's all trial and error as well. So
Casey and his corduroy type clothes won't work?
Probably not. But if he's got his Beyond Sight and Sound shirt on, that might work.
Oh, there you go. I'll make sure he wears the right apparel then.
Right, yeah. See, maybe it's just in the apparel. I don't know. So,
Frank's gonna be trouble. He always wears his Slick Ricks. I don't think that'll be kind to those mics.
Right, probably not, but there again, you'll have to try it and see how it goes. Is there anything else you would like to add before we get out of here?
No, I hope I got good information out there to people, or even the people that have seen some of the African videos, that maybe there was some new stuff that they learned from it. It's all about trying to help people out, better the hobby, get more people interested in it, and help spread knowledge where possible. That's what we're here for. I appreciate you having us on. I appreciate DA tomorrow night having us on to talk about it a little bit. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And thank you for having me on the show again.
There you go. I was going to say there's one thing that both of you forgot, was that we're all looking forward to being on with DA tomorrow night. But you did get that in there. So, very good. Very, very good.
And we thank you again, too, Josh, for sure.
Well, always a pleasure to speak with both of you. Yes, and we will. We'll see you guys tomorrow, literally at 8 p.m. over on Detect America. It won't even be 8:02. It'll be 8 p.m.
Yep.
Very cool.
7 here, I think.
Yes. Right. That's 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, don't confuse Frank.
Right, yeah.
No, 6:30 be over at Chuck's house, so that's where I'll be.
Oh, that's right, yeah, because you're doing this from Chuck's house.
Yeah.
And I assume you're doing
I
it
gotta
from...
travel tomorrow.
Right, and I assume you're doing it from your place, John.
I found a tavern up the way. I'll probably be there.
Oh, hey, there you go. That,
no, kidding.
That works out. Of course, who knows? Maybe everybody should just show up at Chuck's tomorrow.
That'd be a long drive for me.
That is true. Yeah, yeah. That's the only downside there. Yeah, that's the only downside there. All right. Well, then, if you guys have pretty much covered everything we were going to cover tonight, then I will let you two gentlemen go. And somehow or another, I managed to remember I got a few quick announcements.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There you go.
All
we'll
right.
Have to hang around to listen. See.
Well, there you go. All right.
Will do.
So for those that I had mentioned, it would... I love that. The little spider in the chat. That's awesome. Squirrel. So for those that you heard me mention, we did have a $25 gift certificate to Shooters and Prospectors, courtesy of Mike Foreman and Digging Young America on YouTube. Check out the YouTube channel if you have not already. That we would be giving that away the end of March. And obviously, if you're listening to this episode, you're going, I don't remember that happening. That's right. That's because it didn't happen. We do still have that gift certificate, and we have thought it might be more fun to work it into the next board of Dig Your Plug. So we've got donations from Shelly and Dawn of Can You Dig It, Thursday nights, 7:30 p.m. on Detect America. We have, I believe we have donations coming in from Frank, or I still got to message Frank and see if he's shipping them to me and I'm shipping them, or if he's shipping them directly. But we have donations coming in from Detect America and Frank for the next round, or however we'll do this, because if we get a nice little pile of donations, we'll probably split it up among a couple of boards. We still have some stickers that will be going into the next board. We still have some patches that will be going into the next board. Whatever else we can get a hold of, and also there will be a good possibility of a very nice pouch and digger on one of the boards. So you're going to want to make sure and keep an eye out for that. We will be doing another round of Dig Your Plug very soon. For those who have been asking, Spreaker has changed its format slightly, as you've seen in the last few episodes, and some people are under the frame of thought that the like button has gone away. No, the like button is still there, but because of the changing of the format, now the description and the chat screen both show up on the same page. You can scroll down and see the full chat on your browser. And the like button is now not a like button. It is a little heart right below the episode title. Other than that, I think that's about everything that we had to mention as far as announcements. So look forward to some upcoming rounds of Dig Your Plug. If you have not gotten to do that. People seem to get a very big kick out of it, and you just never know what's going to be on this next board. Because, like I said, we've got stickers, patches, certificates, coins, pouch, digging tools. Who knows what'll show up on the next one? So until the next time, folks, we are going to roll. You all have a wonderful evening, and don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 p.m., Detect America, John White, Tony Fazzoli, Minelab DETEXPERTS. We'll see you all tomorrow on DA.